I did a thing. So yeah, I gave my AtGames machine a bit of a Simpsons makeover, as you can obviously tell. Always been a huge fan of The Simpsons. Big fan. Simpsons. Big fan of The Simpsons. See what I did there? I mean, I even live in a town named Springfield, for crying out loud. Been faithfully watching The Simpsons since childhood. Absolutely love the games, whether it be the console games, the arcade games, pinball, you name it. Always been a fan of the Simpsons games. So I wanted to put together something that showed my love and affinity for the Simpsons, kind of wrap it all together. As you can see, it's very yellow, but that's good because my family honestly has a personal affinity towards the color yellow. In fact, I think the last 5 vehicles we've owned over the years have all been yellow, and that's on purpose. It's the family color, if you will. The pinball game specifically, I'm playing via OTG. I've got a computer hooked up underneath. I got a Optiplex from Dell that I typically use anytime I'm doing these kind of PC mods. It's mounted underneath with a little bracket, just like I did in my arcade 1-up mod. Very handy, very easy to do. Connected via OTG. Got some nice little thin ribbon cable strips up the top there. That way I don't have large cables dangling off this or anything like that. I'll put links to everything down in the video description box below if you're interested in. The artwork though I chose to go with is the 2003 Pinball Party, faithfully recreated by the good folks over at arcadegraphics.com. I've used them numerous times over the years. They make all sorts of great artwork for anything you can basically put a sticker on. They'll make something for it, whether it be, quarter scale arcades, pinball machines, mini micro arcades, you name it, they'll make something up for you, and the quality is always top notch. It's very easy to apply. No fuss, no muss or anything like that, but they did a great job with the Stern artwork here. So props to them. They're always running sales. It's always a good value. If you don't find them on sale, you can use the promo code COOLTOY to save 20% off your order, or you can use the promo code I want some free stuff now and get 0% off your order. But you choose to do whatever you want to do. And not only did I completely reskin it with some new Simpsons artwork, I obviously wanted to up the Simpsons ante, and I've yellowified the molding as well as the legs and everything like that. Originally I took everything off, walked it into a place to get it powder coated yellow, and my local powder coating place said, yeah, we'll do that for you. It'll be a 6-week turnaround time. So I promptly turned myself around, walked out the door, and said, no thank you, I'll do it myself, I'll paint it myself. And I just decided to do that. I actually honestly am formally trained in auto body paint, so I said, well, why not dust off those skills and paint it myself. So good thing about the legs and the trim pieces themselves, they do actually have a bit of a texture to them, so it's very easy to just basically scuff them up, hit them with some nice coats of enamel, throw some clear coat on there, and bada bing, you're done. I mean, it looks really good in my opinion. Powder coating obviously would have been more durable, but I wouldn't wait in 6 weeks. I'm sorry. If you got more patience than me, yeah, go the powder coating route, but definitely enamel worked just fine. Looks good, nice and glossy, and it's durable as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to be kicking the living bejesus out of the legs, but overall it does the trick. Now, one thing about doing the graphics and everything, you'll definitely, if you choose to go something like this and go down that rabbit hole, you're going to absolutely have a pain in the butt dealing with the front of the machine. The sides, the back box and everything like that, that's super easy. It's literally just laying a sticker on a flat surface. This front though, you'll have to remove the buttons. You'll have to remove this front faux coin door and the buttons, and then you'll also have to remove the plunger. I personally decided to paint the trim of the plunger, again, to go up the ante of the Simpsons, as well as the trim ring of the faux coin door, but that was an absolute pain in the butt to remove all that stuff just to put the decal on there and then put it back on, reconnect all the wires and things like that. So that was the most labor intensive part of it, but it was in the end worth it in my opinion. Now, I did decide to build a completely new back box for myself. It's a custom design, and I say custom design very lightly because let's be real, it's a 2-foot by 2-foot box. There's no design elements to it. It's a freaking square, for crying out loud. But anyways, I wanted to reuse the stock back box, but ultimately I just couldn't get it to work because the measurements and the fitment and everything, it just wasn't gonna work. So I've got a 22-inch monitor that I found for dirt cheap on a Facebook Marketplace. I think I paid like $30 for it. I actually may have been 25, I can't remember. I ended up talking to the person for like half an hour that I was buying it from, and we got a little distracted. But regardless, 22-inch monitor back here. It's on Amazon right now. It's also dirt cheap. And I'm reusing the stock back glass monitor. This is the 15.6-inch monitor. Now, Why I did this was, you know, I wanted to play arcade games on that big screen on the backside, but I also still wanted to incorporate and use the stock backglass. So what I've got going here is, when I've got OTG mode going, the stock backglass, this 15.6-inch screen, is essentially now my DMD scoreboard. My new screen is my backglass, and then of course my playfield stays the same. Thanks to the new device, the Rachel board or Beavis board or whatever silly acronym and, you know, name the public wants to call it. Basically, it's the video input switcher board that AtGames is going to be offering to the public very soon. I was fortunate enough to get an early order in and get one and test it out, and it works just fine. I've got this button uninstalled right now just so I can show you how it works. But basically, anytime I want to switch between my OTG DMD screen here, go back to the stock playfield, I just push a button. You'll see Legends Pinball pop up probably. Yeah, there it is. So you see that pop up. I can hit my source, go back over to playing the stock playfields and, you know, the Gottlieb tables, the Zakaria tables, things like that, and enjoy it. And if I want to go back to OTG, I'll just hit my source button up there, push the button again, and it'll go back and we'll be good to go. Very handy. Absolutely recommend everyone pick it up once you get a chance. And once I got the box created and framed up and everything, I just made sure I had big enough holes for my new monitors. Once I had that figured out, cut new holes for the stock speakers because I'm reusing the stock speakers and everything. Just repainted the trim rings of the speaker grills themselves, again to tie in with the yellow theme. And then I also reused the LED strip that lit up the Legends pinball. I've actually got it on the top of the back box so it kind of illuminates my topper. My topper is actually an authentic 1990s topper for the Data East Simpsons pinball game. So you got Bart up there, you know, play pinball man. It's a fantastic homage to the original pinball classic table, as well as just, you know, a nice little accent piece for the pinball machine total. So I had a bunch of black vinyl. I put the black vinyl on the front of the back box so that way it looks nice and clean. And I also covered up the Legends pinball logo here on the control area. So this is all nice and flush. This is actually only temporary because I have the control panel on order like I mentioned earlier. So I'll have the control panel installed in here. I'll have my trackball, my joystick, buttons like that. And then I can comfortably play Simpsons games and not have to use the onboard controls or a Bluetooth controller, which is what I've been doing currently. And the final element of the complete overhaul and rebrand was to remove this Legends pinball logo, just peeled it off and then replaced it with Homer asleep there with a donut in his hand. So we've got all the Legends logos removed. Now this is 100% looking like a Simpsons arcade pinball machine. Again, I'll replace this control deck and add on to it. I still need to do some haptic feedback, whether it be surround sound feedback or solenoids. Still haven't made that decision, but I'm honestly still waiting for that control deck to arrive before I jump back inside the machine and tackle anything further. But hopefully this gives you an idea of things you can do and what is possible on your Legends pinball machines. If you got an idea for what you want to do for your machine, let me know in a comment down below because I'd be anxious to see what you guys come up with. Hopefully this is informative and a helpful video in some way. If it's not, hopefully it's entertaining. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you. Like the video anyway. Share it with your friends if you found the information helpful. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Really means a lot.